I've given him gifts too. You know, I mean, how do I get my booty and boobs back?
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So before we get into the video today, we want to ask you guys to please like the video and also subscribe to the channel. And over on Patreon, we have some exclusive videos and content over there as well, so go check that out.
Well, this might be a first. It's the first I've ever heard of this. A 32-year-old Houston man files suit against a stripper.
Yeah, he says he loaned the dancer money and he wants it back. But she says, hey, there's no such thing as stripper refunds.
Fox 26's Randy Wallace is live tonight from the Southwest Side nightclub where the couple met. Randy.
Melinda, she goes by the stage name Naomi, and she says that about a year ago she was dancing here at Treasures when she met a man named Robert Wallace. Now, the dancer and comedian says they were just friends, but to Robert Wallace, it was much more than that.
I have had situations in the past where customers have followed me home. I've had to move twice, switching gyms, switching jobs.
But having a customer sue her is a first for the statuesque dancer who calls herself Nomi.
He was becoming a regular, and we did become friends. I really like him as a friend, and I still do.
We had a dating relationship, and on May 3rd, we had broken up.
Robert Wallace.
So hold on. So he's saying that they had a dating relationship.
Yes.
She's saying they were friends. Which one do you believe?
If I have to be honest, I believe the girl.
Right.
Because clearly, I think she was just trying, because it's her workplace, right? Even though she's a stripper, it's still her workplace, so she's trying to keep it professional. I get to a certain extent. I don't know if that's the right word to use.
Trying to pull money and attention from guys, from her customers.
Okay.
So the fact that, you know, guys come into these strip clubs and establishments and OnlyFans girls and Instagram models and things of that nature, thinking that these women actually like you, I mean, that's completely false, right?
But I guess for me, I'm just trying to understand, like, if you're a guy going to a strip club, you should go into it with the assumption that it's clearly a transaction. It's clearly a specific exchange for money for this act or whatever that they're doing, right? If it's a lap dance, whatever they do there. So I'm just like, it should be clear from the beginning.
Says he loaned the dancer about $2,000 and he wants it back along with a laptop and some DVDs.
I don't believe in loans because I don't want to pay anybody back.
I know how stubborn she can be, so after a week of waiting for her to return my things, I decided to file a suit to get my stuff back.
Since the word loan doesn't seem to be in Nomi's vocabulary, and Robert says the cash and other items were not gifts, it looks like an out-of-court settlement is out of the question.
I've given him gifts too. You know, I mean, how do I get my booty and boobs back?
Still, both sides say they've learned a lesson.
So a surgery she did for her job, that is her gift to all the men who are attracted to her in the club, right? Not specifically him. He specifically gave you a DVD player and whatever else, specific items. So, you know what I mean?
But you see how that works though? He gave up his money, his time, his resources. She's pretty much playing the victim in this situation.
She's like, you got to see my assets, so that's enough. Like, but anyways, it's just comical to me, the fact that he's trying to get a refund. I guess it's not, maybe it's just the value of those items that he wants returned back to him. Maybe not specifically, like, if everything added up to like $200, he's just like, give me my $200 back type of thing.
But he invested too much. Like, he's emotionally invested.
Way too far.
This is situation.
This is going so far that it needs to.
I'm in love with a stripper.
I'm in love with a stripper?
Robert says he's not dating any more strippers.
I did see it possibly ending this way.
And Nomi says there's no such thing as refunds, exchanges, or rain checks when strippers are involved.
No refunds in the strip club. I've even had people come up in there asking, oh, can he get a dance mail, pay me back next week? We ain't got no layaway plans either.
That is so
Now, there's no
funny.
court date yet, but it looks like it will ultimately be up to a judge who decides who's right in this one, the dancer or the customer. Reporting live from Southwest Houston, Randy Wallace, Fox 26 News.
No layaway.
I don't even know what that would be.
No payment plan. None of that in the strip club.
Clearly a transaction when coming into that establishment, right? Like it's very clear for majority of people. Exactly, right?
Yeah.
So for her, I think it was like she's right in the sense where it's like, hey, listen, like whatever you paid me, if you paid me in a DVD player to give you a lap dance, there was a clear exchange, right? So I don't know exactly like how that exchange happened. If that was the case.
Well, that probably happened outside
Oh, I see. Okay.
the establishment.
Okay, so then that's the information that I'm missing. So if the DVD player was like, all right, I'll give you this DVD player if
So
you give me a
hold on.
lap dance, then there was a clear
So
exchange
hold on,
of
you
value.
thought he brought a bunch
I
of
don't know.
DVDs to the strip club?
I don't know. So I'm just saying, if that was one of the, you know what I mean? But if the
Come
case
on.
was, no, if the case was they had, like, whatever money was exchanged within the club, and then outside of it, he was doing this extra stuff,
Right.
and he said, like, he,
Well, that's
he
what
just has to have
happened.
proof. He just
No,
needs
no.
proof to say, like, this was meant to be as borrowed goods.
Right.
And it was meant to be returned back. If he has no written paperwork for it, it's hard to go to law, like to court, to say, this is proof to say, I only lent this to her and she was meant to return it back to me. If there's no such like written paperwork or anything to say that, he doesn't have a case.
Well, it doesn't matter, right?
No?
Because a contract could be verbal as well, right?
But how do you prove that in
Right,
like,
it's
civil
a little
court?
it's a little trickier to prove.
Yeah.
But what it sounds like, she had a relation, if it's friendship or what have you, outside the club. That's what happened, and he got caught up with that situation,
Yeah.
right? Because let's be honest, majority of women don't really make money dancing. It's
Yeah.
usually the additional extracurricular activities where they make their money. So
Okay.
she probably had a lineup of clients, and he was probably one of them, and she was just simply receiving goods and services and money, and you know what I mean?
Okay.
And literally just using them until, you know, she can't use them anymore.
There should be some type of disclosure, right? To say, like, this is only for entertainment purposes. Like, this is, these women are here for work, or men, whatever. Like, these people are here for work, and that is it. So, you know what I'm saying?
Like
Because
on the
there's
cigarette,
emotional.
on the cigarette packages.
Oh my God,
They show
beware.
you the picture of the kidney and liver and
What could happen?
what could happen.
Yeah. So I think that's just because when you're playing with people's emotions and being aware that, like, you know, people are lonely and maybe they're finding these attachments, and you know, you want to at least let people know ahead of time,
But
so it
that's the
protects
thing,
the
though.
workers as well, I
That's-
guess.
Protects
But-
the workers.
So then
they
I
love
don't
it
know.
though.
I'm just saying
They get
like, I
more
don't know.
clients, right?
Oh, so they want that.
They want that.
So
because
don't-
the
okay.
whole point of a stripper
I'm thinking way too innocently.
is to sell you a fantasy that something could potentially happen. So women or strippers specifically, OnlyFans girls, they'll dangle sex in front of the guy to get him more and more interested and invested.
Okay.
Right? Because he's going to keep coming back. He's going to keep spending money. He's going to go to the private rooms. You know what I mean? So it's a mirage, so to speak.
We want to hear from you guys too. Have you ever fell in love with a stripper? Have you found yourself in this situation? If you have, let us know. Leave a comment below.